Hey guys, so today I have swatches of the Hoop There It Is collection from Girly Bits. This is just a few of them. There are 11 polishes in this collection. There are 10 cream polishes and then 1 glitter topper. So the polishes in this collection, the majority of these are neon creams. I'm really excited about these. These are actually my first polishes from Girly Bits and I'm pretty impressed. These released on April 19th, so you should be able to find them pretty easily right now. I will link Girly Bits down below where you guys can check these ones out, and I will get into the swatches. First polish is called These Hips Don't Lie, and this is a neon yellow cream. So here is 1 coat of These Hips Don't Lie. So this polish is just a tiny bit streaky on the first coat, so it is going to need 1, maybe 2 more. The formula is really smooth. It's very easy to apply. It might be a little tiny bit runny for me. I tend to like thicker formula polishes though, so it probably would just be normal for anyone else. So here is 1 coat of These Hips Don't Lie. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a second coat. So here is 2 coats of These Hips Don't Lie. This one is not completely opaque on 2 coats, but it is really close. It does dry matte, so you will want a good top coat. You can just see a few little streaks and bald spots, so I'm going to do a 3rd coat. So there is 2 coats of These Hips Don't Lie. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a 3rd coat. So here is 3 coats of These Hips Don't Lie. This one covers completely in 3 coats. This isn't like an eye-searing fluorescent neon yellow. It's a little bit more on the pastel side, but it is still very bright and it covers really well. You don't usually see a formula like this in any kind of neon yellow. So there is 3 coats of These Hips Don't Lie. The next polish is called It's Hoop to Be Square, and this is kind of like a neon-ish, maybe pistachio green. It reminds me of a little bit like Grass's Lime Greener from China Glaze, but not quite as bright. So here is 1 coat of It's Hoop to Be Square. This one is a bit streaky on the first coat, so it will need probably 3. The formula is good. It's easy to apply. The wide brush that's on these helps a lot too with the application. It feels like the yellow, that it might be a tiny bit thin and want to run down to the sides of my nail, but it's not bad. And like I said before, that's kind of a personal preference thing because I do tend to gravitate towards thicker formulas. So there is 1 coat of It's Hoop to Be Square. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a 2nd coat. So here is 2 coats of It's Hoop to Be Square. This one covers pretty well on the 2nd coat, but it's not 100% opaque yet, so it is going to need a 3rd. The formula is good, feels good, it's easy to apply. So there is 2 coats of It's Hoop to Be Square. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a 3rd coat. So here is 3 coats of It's Hoop to Be Square. So this one covers completely in 3 coats. It is really bright too. Again, great formula, really easy to apply. So there is 3 coats of It's Hoop to Be Square. The next polish is called Thump Your Melons, and this is a neon orange cream. So here is 1 coat of Thump Your Melons. This one covers pretty well on the first coat. I do have my camera settings set a little bit differently right now just so I can show the actual neon orange without like blinding you. The formula on this one, it feels really good. It doesn't feel quite as thin as the last 2 that I did. So there is 1 coat of Thump Your Melons. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a 2nd coat. So here is 2 coats of Thump Your Melons. This one covers completely on 2 coats. It does dry matte. I think most of these in this collection dry matte, but that also means that they dry fairly fast as well. Again, the formula on this one does feel a little bit thicker than the other ones that I've used so far. So there is 2 coats of Thump Your Melons. The next polish is called Hoop There It Is, and this is kind of a cross between a pink and an orange neon cream. It's coming off a little more orange on camera than it is. It's got a little bit more pink in person. So here's 1 coat of Hoop There It Is. This one covers pretty well on the first coat, but it applies really well. This is incredible how easy this formula is to put on. I do have my settings a little bit darker so that you can see the true color. So there is 1 coat of Hoop There It Is. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a 2nd coat. So here's 2 coats of Hoop There It Is. This one also covers completely in 2 coats, and I should mention that that first coat especially was completely streak free. This polish just went on so easy. So there is 2 coats of Hoop There It Is. So the next polish is called You Spin Me Round, and this is a clear-based glitter topper. This is a mix of black, white, gray, silver, and holographic silver glitter in it. There's nothing really big in here. Everything is relatively small. And I am layering that one over Hoop There It Is. So here is You Spin Me Round. So this is a nice, dense glitter topper. You might even be able to get this opaque on its own if you really wanted to. There's no fishing required because it is not a chunky glitter, and it's not base heavy at all. It has a really great glitter to base ratio. So there is You Spin Me Round. The next polish is called Hooperchondriac, and this is a neon green cream. So here is 1 coat of Hooperchondriac. This one covers pretty well on the first coat, still a little bit streaky, so it's going to need 1, maybe 2 more. This one does feel a little bit thin like the first couple did. So there is 1 coat of Hooperchondriac. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a second coat. So here is 2 coats of Hooperchondriac. This one is just a tiny bit streaky yet, so it is going to need a 3rd coat. The streaks are just barely visible, but they are there. So there is 2 coats of Hooperchondriac. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a 3rd coat. So here is 2 coats of Hooperchondriac. This one covers completely in 3 coats. It is coming off more neon on camera right now than it is in person. My camera died and I can never get the settings the same way twice. So it's not quite as neon as it's coming off. So there is 3 coats of Hooperchondriac. The next polish is called You're My Hooper Hero, and this is a neon pink cream, and this one is freaking out my camera. So here is 1 coat of You're My Hooper Hero. This one actually covers really well on the first coat. It's almost a 1-coater. I can just make out a little bit of my nail line. This one is very, very easy to apply. Goes on really smooth, and you can work, I don't know, it's just weird. You can work really fast with it. So there's 1 coat of You're My Hooper Hero. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a 2nd coat. So here is 2 coats of You're My Hooper Hero. This one covers completely in 2 coats, and I did darken my camera a little bit, so hopefully you can see a little bit more of the true color. Again, great formula, very easy to apply. So there is 2 coats of You're My Hooper Hero. The next polish is called Don't Paddle Break a Nail, and this is kind of a raspberry cream. So here is 1 coat of Don't Paddle Break a Nail. This one covers really well on the first coat. It's nearly opaque in 1 coat, but I can still see a little bit of my nail line. And I think that 2nd coat is going to deepen it up quite a bit as well. This has that same amazing, easy to apply formula that the pink and that pinky orange, You're My Hooper Hero and I believe Hoop There It Is. Those ones had this same formula. So there's 1 coat of Don't Paddle Break a Nail. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a 2nd coat. So here is 2 coats of Don't Paddle Break a Nail. This one covers completely on 2 coats, and 2 coats does deepen the color a bit. Again, a really smooth, really easy to apply formula, no streaks at all. So there is 2 coats of Don't Paddle Break a Nail. The next polish is called Hoop Hurray, and this is kind of a reddish purple cream. Here is Hoop Hurray next to Don't Paddle Break a Nail, so you can see that there is quite a bit of a difference in the color. So here's 1 coat of Hoop Hurray. This one covers really well on the first coat. I can still see a little bit of my nail line though, so I am going to do a 2nd. This has that same really easy formula that a few of the other ones have had. So there's 1 coat of Hoop Hurray. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a 2nd coat. So here is 2 coats of Hoop Hurray. This one covers completely on 2 coats, and it does deepen the color quite a bit as well. Again, fantastic formula on this one. So there is 2 coats of Hoop Hurray. The next polish is a more blue, kind of grape purple cream, and this is called Get Indie Flow. Here it is next to Hoop Hurray, so you can see the difference. So here is 1 coat of Get Indie Flow. This one covers pretty well on the first coat, but it is going to need a 2nd. It's a pretty good formula. It's a little bit runny, but it's not terrible. So there's 1 coat of Get Indie Flow. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a 2nd coat. So here is 2 coats of Get Indie Flow. So this one covers completely on 2 coats, and it does deepen the color quite a bit as well. I feel like this is showing up a tiny bit more blue than it is in person. It's definitely more of a true grape purple in person. So there is 2 coats of Get Indie Flow. And the last polish is called I've Got High Hoops, and this is a slightly dusty blue cream. I feel like this has a little bit of purple in it as well. So here is 1 coat of I've Got High Hoops. This one covers really well on the first coat. It's still a little bit streaky though, so it is going to need 2. This has a great, easy to use formula. So there's 1 coat of I've Got High Hoops. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a second coat. So here is 2 coats of I've Got High Hoops. This one covers completely in 2 coats. Again, great formula. So there is 2 coats of I've Got High Hoops. So my favorites in this collection are Get Indie Flow, which is a really nice kind of bluey purple cream. I really liked the formula on this, and I really like the color. The other one that I really liked is Hoop. There it is, because it is so bright and intensely neon. It's not an orange, it's not a pink, it's kind of like walking that line in between. I really like these kinds of colors. One thing I did want to mention about this collection, I was actually playing around with these a few days ago, and they water marble really well. Like, I really feel like these are right up to par with the Pipe Dream Polish Neons as far as how well they water marble. I'm really impressed with these. They are the absolute perfect water marbling polishes. So if you can't get your hands on the Pipe Dream ones, I would look into picking up these ones because they water marble, for me anyway. I mean, I don't know how they're going to work for everybody. For me, they water marble about the same. So yeah, all of these swatch pictures from the video will be posted to my Instagram account within the next couple days. I will link Girly Bits down below so you guys can check these out, and I will talk to you later. Bye.